Hello, dear friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We have come again with another update from our Prime Minister. We told them it is out of hand, uncontrollable, because when they ought to have stopped this agitation by conducting referendum, they refused to do that. And then now we are spreading out like wildfire because they think it was by holding Mazinam Dekano down, thereby they will be able to nip or stop the agitation. No, agitation is not only for Mazinam Dekano. So they are making mistakes by torturing that innocent soul. All right, they also have released him to be able to say, okay, this is how we want to go about this. But everything in life, Nigeria is getting it all wrong. Everything in life, they are following the wrong steps. I don't know why. Our Prime Minister is here to address us the next steps to go. Let's go there.
It is difficult to establish the reason which this state did not delegitimize the existing one on their declaration. Because some of these states were no longer perceived as a functioning state, which was capable of asserting its legitimacy to rule over the ceding territory. This is apparent from the foundational constitutional charter of the Republic of Slovenia, issued at the same time as the Declaration of Independence, which in its preamble note that Slovenia no longer functions as a law-governed state capable of resolving the current problem. My fellow Biafrans, this is exactly the same thing happening between Nigeria and Biafra. Nigeria is no longer capable of resolving its current political and economic crisis. And that is one of the reasons Biafra is exiting, because Nigeria has failed to resolve its insecurity, terrorism, and all manner of political crisis, economic crisis. Nigeria have shown that they are incapacity. They are incapacitated, and they are not capable of resolving this current problem. And Biafra has a solution. Political and economic crisis. In the case of Slovenia, their Charter of 1991 preamble actually stated exactly what we are going through today, the inability of the government as at then to resolve their political and economic crisis. Moreover, this federation had been ruled by their respective communist parties. These parties and their leaders were held accountable for harms and injustices committed to the population of city state. And in the Biafra and Nigeria, we will make sure that we hold Nigerian people accountable for the injustices and the harms they have committed against Biafrans from the time of 1967 or even beyond that till this present day. We will hold all of them accountable, from Gowon to Obasanjo to every living Nigerian that has contributed in the genocide against our people. We are going to hold them responsible. It is not happening because there is no representative of Biafrans. There is nobody who summoned courage to represent Biafra people, speak to Nigeria in a language they will never understand until now. I have taken that responsibility. These parties and their leaders were held accountable for harms and injustices committed to the population of the city state, in the state of these Slovenians and all of that. However, by the time of the Declaration of Independence were issued, these parties had been removed from power and were effectively dissolved. In a sense, therefore, the grievances against this communist-ruled state belong to the past or the present, the recent past, and were no longer relevant when city state declared their independence. In our own Nigeria against Biafra, it is going to be different, because those evil government officials that committed this crime against us are still at large today, and the government is still in power. Nigeria government is still very active, killing our people in Biafra land. So we are going to make sure that we hold them very, very responsible for all the killings you see today happening in the southeast, east and south to south. In Oklahoma community, or the massacre, all of them, we are going to list all these killings and we hold them responsible. One could just argue that the whole state that would have been target of the delegitimization through a list of grievances had already lost their operational legitimacy. And that's exactly the tactics that the Biafra government is applying today. We are expecting that as we are declaring the restoration of independence of Biafra, we will make sure that we reduce Nigeria to ground zero in Biafra territory through our actions from the Biafra Defense Forces. In consequence, the declaration of the independence of several federal units and later of sub-federal units, such as Kosovo, for example, of these two federal states, focus in some cases exclusively on legitimization of the new state, legitimization of their own state, because there is no need for them to delegitimize the existing state since they have already failed. This was achieved by announcing or establishing state institutions. My fellow Biafrans, a moment. And you must understand that we are 1 million steps ahead of Nigeria. That I must tell you. If you do not know today, know that we are 1 million. Before Nigeria will make any move, it is the move I have made 6 months ago. So we are very, very far. Like very, very, very far ahead of Nigeria. Now, the prime example of this declaration can be found in the United States Declaration of Independence of 1776. And even during the Biafra Declaration of Independence in 1967, it was only few grievances that was listed. Only some grievances that were listed during the Biafra Declaration of Independence. Today, we are adopting every grievances, listing them against Nigeria state. That has never been done in the history of Biafra until now. I want people to understand, especially those illiterate who are on the side of the IPOB Nigeria. You know, the kind of confusion that we put into them is very amazing. You will see the people supporting the drug lord Nigeria Tinubu shouting, Simon Ekpa, go and die, this is that. You will see the IPOB Nigeria shouting, Simon Ekpa is working for Tinubu, is working for Nigerian government. Have you ever seen any confusion like that? Have you seen any confusion like that? Why the Afonjas are crying that I am destroying every plan of their organs in Nigeria, within the Nigeria state? The IPOB Nigeria, they are shouting, I am working for Nigeria. Why Nigeria is crying? That is the highest confusion. They don't know what is going on. Because they never believe that Nigeria can be challenged. You know how they address Nigeria? The most populous country in Africa, the biggest economy in Africa, the giant of Africa, the this and that, the evil entity is going down. They never believe that Nigeria can be challenged until today. Nigeria terrorist army never believed that Biafrans can actually volunteer to, risk their life to defend others. They thought everybody loved money. They thought every Biafra want life. Everybody want to live. They never believed that people can actually sacrifice their life for others. Nigeria never believed it. But today, it is happening. volunteers of the Biafra Defense Forces are sacrificing their life for others. And this is unimaginable to the Nigerians. They never believed that a day like this will come, where people can actually give selfless service, where people can become patriotic, where you can see people dying for what they believe in. And it is very, very surprising to the Islamic Nigeria state. I'll give you an example of this declaration, even the recent one of Donetsk Act of 2014, Luhansk Act of 2014. This declaration named violation the whole state committed against the Syrian unit, including human rights abuses, act of genocide, discrimination, and breach of agreement, justifying their call for international recognition or remedial ground. That's exactly what Biafrans we are going to do. Our own is more and worse than whatever Luhansk and Donetsk ever experienced. We have experienced appetite in Nigeria against Biafra people. We have experienced genocide. We have experienced discrimination. We are victims of all the crimes you can think of. And that is exactly what the declaration drafting committee are working on. And these particular grievances that we are listing in the declaration is going to justify our declaration on the 2nd of December 2024. And again, after that, we will move a very aggressive campaign for international recognition for remedial ground. I want Biafrans to understand that you can't, what exactly foundation have you laid in the past for Biafra to come? Nothing. Are you going to just say, UN, come and give me freedom? Come on. No, without any foundation, without organizing yourself? No. The dead Buhari told you that Biafrans, if you want freedom, go and organize yourself. And people did not actually understand what he said. And he himself did not actually know when he said it. I watched him. Of course, then I was one Nigeria. I looked at this man. I laughed. I said, don't worry. The day I will join this Biafra struggle, you will know what you have said. How many of you remember when they were interviewing him? Oh, the army were killing Biafrans in the city of Aba, and they say you don't want to watch the video. If they want to do something, they should go and organize themselves. Did you remember when dead Buhari said it? Today, go and inform him that Biafrans have organized themselves. Like never before, like no other country in the past. We have organized ourselves. We have a government. We have all the institutions of government functional. We have a map. We have state. We have everything, including liaison offices all over the world. Tell them we have organized ourselves. It is time, and we are going to visit them very soon. My fellow Biafrans, I want you to understand that the reason the Biafra will be declared in a foreign land is because of the hostility and the terrorism of the Nigerian state. Is because that opportunity will not be given to us without people getting killed. So we are going to adopt the best available options, which is the government in exile issuing declaration where every state in Biafra land will be represented. And there's going to be delegation. And of course, it is not only that we are declaring Biafra independent in exile, but also we have conducted referendum on ground, where people are lining up and voting, and evidences abound. Are you going to beat that? Nigeria don't know what is hitting them. What we are fighting today is brain war. Brain war. And we have outsmarted Nigeria. I want you to understand that after the declaration of the restoration of independent state of Biafra on the 2nd of December, we will officially communicate Nigeria. And then we will start aggressive campaign globally for the recognition of Biafra. It is a long overdue. Those that are laughing at us today will no longer laugh at us then. You know how they were calling me online Prime Minister, online this, online that, yet they can't let me rest. Yet they are on our page, we post, they are panicking, yet they cannot let us to do our online country and have peace. They are disturbed because it is no longer online. We are showing every evidence of controlling the territory of Biafra from exile and then also from the homeland, de facto government, by our various activities, civil disobedience, political activities, by organizing self-referendum voting in Biafra land, and the vote is going on even as I speak. So what else do you need to know that the Biafra people have rejected Nigeria and they are only loyal to the Biafra government? Their hope of a new beginning and new life is on the government of Biafra. So my people, after the declaration in Finland, what do you expect? What you are going to expect is that we will officially communicate our declaration to the Nigeria state, demanding the recognition and acceptance of the self-referendum. Not only that, we are not sending it to Nigeria state for them to accept. They are never going to accept, and we know that. We will also communicate the African Union, even when we don't even like them. We will also communicate ECOWAS, even when we don't like them. We will officially communicate all these institutions, seeking the approval of what we have done in exile, the history that we have done. And we will also officially communicate the United Nations through our international partners. We are not doing all these things for them to agree immediately, no, but believe me, we will release hell on Nigeria. After this December 2nd, we will release hell on Nigeria. I want you people to focus on the ORB report, where they say, after this declaration, after this self-referendum of Biafra, there is going to be two options. That Nigeria will either issue a political statement, that is when we have officially communicated Nigeria, demanding the recognition and acceptance of the Biafra self-referendum. Nigeria will either issue a political statement or ignore a political statement and use it and come militarily. We are already used to the military activities of Nigeria state for the past 3 years. We are only going to increase and escalate it. And like I said, we choose how we fight this. So my fellow Biafrans, I have a lot to tell you on the update of what to expect. So that when you are discussing with people, you can defend yourself and defend the government and defend what we are doing when you have knowledge of what we are doing and what is to come. If you are in argument with all these idiots, you can be able to tell them what we are doing and what we are going to do. So I believe this small clarification and update on the declaration coming 2nd of December have put you in the right track. Immediately after this declaration, what follows next, I am repeating it again so that it will sink inside the head of even the Dundees. That one, we will write Nigeria officially, informing Nigeria of what Biafra have done, giving the result of the self-referendum to Nigeria state, demanding the recognition of Biafra as an independent state, demanding the acceptance of the self-referendum, also demand the withdrawal of every Nigerian military and institution in the Biafra territory. We are not expecting them to do that, but we're going to write them officially so that it will go into history book. 2, we will officially write the AU, ECOWAS, and all international organizations, informing them of what 50 million Biafrans, over 50 million Biafrans. I don't know how many that are going to vote by December or November 8, 28, when the voting will end. Inform them how many millions have voted and what Biafra has spoken, and we have spoken, and the exile government have declared Biafra, and this is the result. And this is our demand. Our demand is the withdrawal of every Nigerian institution, accept our declaration, accept our self-referendum, and there will be peace. We will inform the United Nations, using our international consultants and international partners, why our lobbyists will be heavily working, ruthlessly engaging in diplomacy at the White House and the Washington, D.C. You don't know what we have prepared. You can never, ever defeat us this time around. We come prepared, and I call it multi-dimensional approach. After that, we will begin to approach many countries with the document that we have raised and generated from Finland, from the declaration. It becomes official. Now we don't have any official document. Now we do not have any official. Only thing we are doing today is just awareness that Biafra is coming. Everything is awareness. Everything is that we are dying and we don't want to die. We want to defend ourselves. That's what we have been doing for the past 3 years. So from the 2nd of December, we will officially have a document, and officially we begin to demand recognition. Every recognition we demand today, we are not expecting anybody to recognize us. But why? On what basis will it be recognized? There is no basis for recognition. There is no basis today. The only reason we are doing this is to create awareness to those countries and those offices. And we have done that. After 2nd of December, we will have official declaration, official consent of the Biafra people. And then we will have the reason to demand for the recognition from the United Nations, from every country in the world. And my fellow Biafrans, let me also inform you that one African country already offers us a recognition as of today. And you will know it in days to come. We have gotten recognition from one African country. And those who call us their friend will extend our friendship and our hand of friendship to them.
Wow.
Biafra is the light
Wow.
of Africa. My fellow Biafrans, I welcome all of you to question and answer. I will be addressing many questions, but now you know at least some things to answer to those who do not know nothing and don't care to know. The roadmap to the independence of Biafra from 2nd of December 2024. I welcome question and answer. The media team and the communication ministers and deputy, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, PM. Thank you, Biafran people. I don't know if my voice is coming out clear because the network is blocking.
Your voice is good. Yeah, let
All
me
right.
bring the men in.
Good to everyone who have keyed in. Please reach out to the mic and tender your questions and wait for the response from the Prime Minister. And make your question concise. Go straight to the point while he will address you. I welcome all of you. Bam, over to you, please.
Yeah, thank you, Mazi. Thank you, PM. Thank you so much for all you have done for us and you're doing for us, sir. PM, sir, I will be the first person to make it. I don't know if it will be a question or a contribution, but I want to comment that the best thing that have happened to, please mute yourself. Who is that? Mute yourself, please. I want to comment that the best thing that have happened to us in this our restoration is actually the criminal or the drug baron that have taken over the leadership in the zoo, because now that the illegitimate president have taken over, it means that the zoo will come to nosedive, sir. And it means that there is no hope. Even if they have any clamor for hope before, there is no hope at all. So they now, who is this person that is talking? I have to remove.
Hello.
No, even if there is any hope for them before, all their hope is completely dashed. And then the more Tinubu is there, the brighter and brighter our light will shine to the rest of the world, sir. Thank you, sir. And
thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And that is the reason we stood our ground during the election. You remember? It was the reason. The reason we make sure that Biafra did not participate in the election. And they manipulated 4 million votes in the southeast and south Biafra territory. We stopped 20 million people from voting. They believed in us. That's why 20 million people boycotted the voting during the general election. So we know what we did. And that's why we can never be part of the protest, because we made what is happening today in Nigeria. Everything you see today happening, we made it. And it is working according to our plan. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, PM, sir. Thank you so much. I am so grateful to God that I hooked up to this mandate of yours and this leadership that is a blessing to me and to every Biafran worldwide. And you know.
And let me quickly comment on the issue of the map that we have just released, the Biafra map. I am very, very happy that there is no dispute coming from the map other than just error of state capital and state names, which is which is being worked on. The team that the map, the border commission and map committee are working on it. So every mistake and error that you see on the map, especially the name of your state capital or wherever, just call our attention and it will be corrected. So there are a lot of errors there, which is because of the pressure I gave the team. So they made a lot of some mistakes. So, but those mistakes is not minor mistake will be corrected. But the most important thing is that the map, there is no dispute on the map, and because we have consulted very well before this map coming out. So I'm very, very happy that the Biafra people who found themselves in the map are very, very happy, and they are loyal to the Biafra government. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, our Prime Minister, for your time, your effort, your belief and your faith, your strength, and everything you have put in this struggle. It's only God that will pay you back. Of course, Biafrans cannot pay you. They can't pay you because life is worth it. But you have put your life in line internationally and nationally. You've brought up yourself that whatever it will cost you to bring Biafra, you will do it. You are ready to pay. Even to the point of saying, if this will not come, instead you turn to beast. You can imagine that. You've laid a lot of cost on yourself if you are doing this with double mind or with ulterior motive that things will never go well with you. You have said a lot of things about that. So, God Almighty, who sees the heart, who is the judge, who is the rewarder, He will be the one to reward you and Mazinam Kanu and every other true freedom fighter who have done this without fear or favor of any kind, without selfishness. God will reward. Yes, it's my word from this very channel. I want you to please stay glued. We will update you as things unfold. Thank you.